I'm making a laundry scent booster today called Breathe Easy, and this one's kind of fun to make in the winter months because it has eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, and rosemary to it. So it also has a little bit of antibacterial properties, and just when you smell it, especially if you have a slight cold the way I seem to like half of the winter time, then it makes you feel so good to breathe it in. Now these are pretty easy to put together. I start off with a quart-sized Ziploc bag. I like the freezer ones because they're a little bit thicker so they don't pop as easily. And then I'll put 2 cups of Epsom salts in them. Ooh, spilled just a little bit. Sometimes I'll use a canning jar funnel to get it in my bag, and that works pretty good. But if not, I just have a nice clean counter and I can dump it right in my hand and put it into the bag as well. So not a big deal. And then I'll add my essential oil. I start with eucalyptus. I really like this one, so I add 20 drops of this. I then add 10 drops of tea tree oil, 10 drops of peppermint. Some of the bottles are easier to stop the drops than others. I actually prefer the droppers like this one. I feel like it's a little more controllable. And then I'll do 10 drops of rosemary as well. I'll then seal up my bag, and I try to make it so that the majority of the air is out of it. And then I mix those essential oils into the salt. The salt is the driver that gets the fragrance into the fabric. So it's pretty important. And in addition to that, it's actually a fabric softener as well. I try to mix it pretty well because the next step is to add baking soda, and that baking soda will clump up if it gets wet. So now I'll add half of a cup of baking soda. And the baking soda is nice because it neutralizes bad odors, it's a fabric softener, and it actually enhances how well the detergent works. After adding the baking soda, I leave a little bit more air in there because it makes it just a little easier to mix. At this point, there's no oils to disperse since we've already done that. It's just a matter of mixing the 2 different powders, which is pretty easy. Then I have my quart-sized jar, and I dump it right into there. It can really be any kind of jar, it just needs to be an airtight container. If stored properly, the shelf life for this is actually up to 1 year. Not that I've ever had it last that long. With our family, we do about 2 loads of laundry a day, so this goes pretty quick. A lot of times I'll make multiple batches. And then when we go to use it, I keep this 2 tablespoon measurement up in my laundry room, and all I do is I scoop out some of the scent booster, put it directly in my washing machine, and then I load my clothes on top of it. You could do as little as 1 tablespoon if you wanted, or as much as 1/4 of a cup. It's all based on personal preference. I also have homemade dryer sheets that match this recipe.